Hey, welcome back everybody. Today we're talking about the Deep Sea or the Naval update happening for Rust PC on February 5th, 2026. So by the time you're watching this, most likely it's out or it will soon be out. And as you can see, this is just a small example of some of the custom boat stuff that you can do, but we're going to show you how to break this down, some of the changes that are happening in this update, and a bit of a preview as to what's coming for us on Rust Console Edition. Now, that's not going to happen anytime soon, but still, this is in our future at some point. So we're going to go through how to do the basic boat building and also tell you some of the changes that have happened here for this particular update. And this is a big one. And as you can see, we only have 2 engines on board, and we are cooking. Absolutely cooking. Here we go. Do we have a... Oh, wait. Let's reload. We got one. This makes boat warfare so much crazier. And yes... these may look weak, but they're actually not. This is not really a wood tier. This is in between stone and metal, so this is actually quite beefy. So the larger it gets, the harder it is to sink with both C4 rockets and torpedoes. So we're going to double back and show you how to break this down and some of the rules and ins and outs of how to modify these bad boys. As we careen back towards our base to show you how to do the setup here, it's worth noting that on the south end of the map, or a particular angle on the map, northwest, south, there can be a deep sea that does spawn. It's a lot like the cargo ship, but it does stay around for like 2.5, 3 hours, give or take. And that zone is procedurally generated, so it's different every time. You're going to see things like islands, places to loot, little airdrop things, and you'll also see scientists or pirates attack you. The new boat, I can't remember, is it called like a... I don't know what it's called off top, but it's better than a rib, and it has 250 cals, one on the front and one on the back, and lots of scientists on board. And even though they look like blue scientists, I can assure you, they're pretty nasty. So you've got so many different ways to go get loot once you get inside there, and different ways to actually traverse that. So now, speaking of traversing, you cannot fly over that red zone or the green zone. You can actually probably see the buoys now. You can see that they're red just off in the distance. I don't really have any binoculars, unfortunately. But when they turn green, you'll be able to cross over. Now, if you have any illegal devices, transport on board, it will not allow you to cross over. You cannot cross over in a rowboat. You cannot cross over in a paddle boat or a kayak or anything like that. If you have a helicopter on board your boat, it will deny you access. Currently, we won't be able to cross over because it's not green at the moment, and it's not showing up on the map. It'll actually show deep sea and then the timer itself. But you could put together a very weak boat and just cross over. Now, there are some boats that can cross over automatically. The rib is one of them, and that new boat that's just above the rib, I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. It's like a little tan boat. You'll see. Yeah, hopefully this thing spawns up so we can actually cross over it. We can actually show you some of the pirates. But if you do capture one of those boats, not only are they super heady, but and fast, you'll be able to take them in and out of the deep sea. And essentially the deep sea will start to close. It'll have a 20-minute timer. You'll start to hear like a buzzer saying a storm's coming in, and you have to clear out or you do get wrecked. Okay, so as we get close to our base, what we're going to do is sacrifice this guy and build us a new one, as you can only have 1 boat per person tied to your, on an active server. So essentially for us to build a new boat, we're going to have to trash this one. But what's interesting is, you can see here, you can stick cannons on board. You can shoot out of various holes. So what we did find out as a little tip here, and I'll probably repeat myself at some point, but we found since the pirates are so crazy when they chase you, sticking windows up here by the captain's quarters here, or where you steer, the helm, is almost completely warranted because, yeah, they're crazy. Okay, so we dismounted the boat. We actually are here on our little temporary base. We're going to show you how to modify a build and also how to destroy and then start from scratch itself. So there's many different ways to do this. Let me go ahead and show you some of the different areas where you can research this, or it's actually really just one. Once you make your level 1 workbench that does not require fragments, I know that might sound a little strange for us on console, but we don't have the progression update yet, but at some point we will have blueprint fragments. So you actually don't need that for this. You go down the hammer tree and you can start to see you have the boat building station, which is very important, and the boat building plan. And you do need the steering wheel and at least a sail. I would recommend an anchor. And then if you can get down to the engine itself, or I'm sorry, the cannon itself, that is nice to have. And I do know that the engine is under a workbench too. Okay, so to modify or just create a new boat, you're going to need to have the boat building station. We have the little umbrella out here. It's facing, or I should say the little lecture stand is facing outward. We're just going to place it here. And it automatically starts in the edit mode itself. What we're going to do is we're going to hit finish building, and the umbrella or parasol, carousel, whatever it's called, goes down. When it's in editing mode like this, you actually cannot bring the boat on top. This netting here is something you can stand on. It gives you stats about the boat. You'll kind of go crazy trying to put the boat on top when the netting's there. Also, you can push the boat by hand at the cost of food and water if you need to do some smaller adjustments. Okay, what I think we're going to do to kind of weasel over there is get the sail going, because it's going to put us at a lower speed, and we're going to turn. Alright, that should put us in range, I believe. Once you're in range of the building station, or you deploy it outside of your boat, you can hold the action button on the wheel, and now you can edit the boat. Now you can move things around like the engine, the cannons, pick those up. We're actually going to trash this thing to kind of show you what's what. You can actually stand on this netting like we showed you earlier. This is such a crazy cool change. It's so massive too. This is going to change up the game quite a bit. And what a cool way to start off early game too, you know? You can really just kind of scrape some things together and build yourself a crusty base, or even steal a rib or buy a rib and then just head on out, because it's very lucrative to hit the islands. So I'm trying to see if Deep Sea's out there right now. It's not. Boo. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick up our sleeping bag. We kind of picked everything else up here. Okay, now that the boat has been stripped, we can pretty much trash it. And you can do that inside of your boat station here. You can say finish building. I'm sorry, hold the action button and then go to clear building area. Boom, it's all gone. You don't get anything back. That sucks. But hey, it is what it is. What you can do to start building a boat, not a base. Let's just say you're finished building. Okay, so if you have your building station deployed, you go up to the station itself and then say you would like to edit a boat, and then your netting's out. Now you can start to apply things. Bring out your boat building plans and make sure that you have, this is crazy, a lot of wood. It's only made of wood and low grade, believe it or not. Lots and lots of low grade and wood. So really, you can get this thing cranking if you got the BPs like off the rip, especially if you are able to bag these pretty early. And it's not too hard to get things off the level 1, right? Like essentially you can make a sailboat and head out there. So what you can do is you can just place down, we'll go ahead and kind of repeat what we did earlier. You don't have to do it this way, but this is the way I'm choosing to do it. We're going to make a little triangle here and just put 2 squares off the back. I like to put a window in the front and a steering wheel, but really you don't need any of this. You could just put a steering wheel down and a couple sails and you're good to go. Essentially, that's all you need. You don't have any cover, and it is a little absurd, but yes, you can do that. So if you're extra poor, you can pull that off. If you have 2 sails and a steering column, you're good to go. And you would probably want to put a sleeping bag on board. So technically, this works. 2 sails and a steering wheel. Go up here, set your code. Whoops, set your code. And now what we can do is say we're complete, and that we would like to. Oh, here, I'll show you. Once we're done here, instead of going over here and hitting finish and then swimming back over, what we can do is we can hit finish boat here, and then it puts that boat station in our inventory. You can see it right there. So now we can lower the sails and steer this bad boy. That's all you need. That's it. You could actually do it smaller than this if you want to. I would suggest having an anchor, but like really you just need the steering column and 2 sails. And I think the math is 4 sails equal the output of a 1 engine. So you could just go straight sails, like Sea of Thieves style. Alright, so I guess the feature to have this thing deploy around your boat has either changed or it's been completely removed. So I guess you have to put the boat station down and then drive into the buoy system. It's a little bit more difficult, yes, with the sails because we don't have a reverse, and we might run into our first problem here because, yeah, there it is. I might have to raise the sail and just turn this bad boy. I might have to get out and push it. And just remember, if you do get stuck, you can push. That's what we're doing. Yeah, what I found is, as we're trying to navigate this back in here, if you have just a boat, a small boat, and like a small enclosed cabin portion, for like your spawning or like to hide when you're getting attacked by either people or pirates, which is inevitable. It's pretty usable. Not gonna lie, you can build this thing 2.5 tall. Or I should say 2 1/3, right? Because isn't that what the low walls are? Are we not in far enough? Is that what's going on here? I think we have to turn it in. Whew, I'm having one heck of a time getting this boat in here, dude. I bet this will do it. Once you're inside properly, you should be able to hit the wheel and then hit edit boat like we did before. Okay. That was painful. Now, you can start to see that you can pick these bad boys back up like we did earlier. But as we were talking about, making a little area to spawn in is probably the best thing you could do. So you can kind of just encompass this whole first section here. And again, this looks like wood, but it's much stronger than standard wood. And you could just stick a metal door or even an armored door on there if you really want to. And as you see the masts go up on the boat, you'll need more power, whether it's engines or sails, to get the boat going. We're just going to add a few more pieces off the back here, and then we're going to do something a little crazy and just put like a staircase up here. Then we can access the top here if we wanted to. You can even stick the wheel up top, but if you are going to place engines, you do need to have them on foundations. Let me go ahead and show you these here. And really what you're looking for, as we go inside and grab a couple things here, I'll show you where the engines are at on the tier list. You'll start to see the power to weight or power to mass ratio, and that's going to be the most important thing. Okay, so if you see on the level 2 workbench, obviously this has got some changes in it because progression has changed. If you start on the hazmat side, work your way over the clothing, then you have the diver propulsion vehicle. Under that, it's the small boat engine. That's 5 high quality, 2 gears, and 50 low grade. You'll find that low grade seems to be the extra resource here that this uses the most. And what we can do now, since we have such a low weight, we could just have 2 engines if we really wanted to. And here's the other kicker too. You really want to have this, if you kind of draw a line down the center, you really want to have an engine on either side. They can be in like different positions, but if you have one here, you have to have one on the other side. It just makes things a bit cleaner. I do like to have them kind of pointing a certain direction. And then I'll place another one right here like we did prior. And this will actually make the boat stupid fast. And I like to put the triangle ladder hatch up here. I'm a fan of that. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can just have the staircase or whatever. But what I did find was you could stick a sleeping bag over here, which is quite nice. But 2 engines on this mast, like having a 14.29 is, dude, this thing's stupid fast. And I do like to stick the cannons on the end, although you can do this any way you desire. Also worth noting, just like in real building, once the 10-minute mark has been passed, all of these will be solidified. You cannot destroy them. So just keep that in mind. That's a thing. Could just stick a door right here and put another door here, maybe a window if we want to. Ooh, even better, check this out. So apparently, if you stick a doorway, hope I have the right order here. If you stick a doorway and then your anchor here, you can actually have a protected anchor doorway. You'll see as you get attacked by pirates, it becomes an issue to keep things in order. You get shot at a lot as soon as you step out on the deck, on the old poop deck. What we can do here is make like an angled back and probably just stick the cannon off the back. And you do have a little bit of an adjustment off of these bad boys. So you can actually kind of move things around a bit if you want to. You see our mass went up, so we probably need some sails or some engine. Actually, we're pretty close to 10, so that's probably pretty good. So we can actually use that once we've got... Are we solidify this? I'm going to stick an armor door there, have it open and shut. And then I would strongly suggest putting windows in the front, like I said earlier. Very, very helpful when you're getting lit up out of your mind. Since this is above or in between stone and wood, this makes a pretty nice base, whether it be your starting base or kind of like a mobile base to do some some raiding or whether it is to farm or all of the above. It's pretty nice for all of those things. And it can be super fast, especially when you start to upgrade the engines and whatnot. And we'll kind of show you why having engines in a certain location can kind of be beneficial for you. And again, you can build this any way you want. We're not trying to tell you how to do it. We would stick more windows up here, but I don't think we have any readily available. But you can do something like this, and then we can try to balance things out with the sails. There we go, we got 7.6. $8.47 because we added a lot of weight. This should all work. So it kind of gives you a little extra kick. We didn't have to add an extra engine. Now we have 9.32, which is good. Okay, let's see if we can't. Let's solidify this. Oh, actually, let me show you this real fast. These little wall mounts are actually very nice. You can, little cupboard inside of there. Obviously, you can't use the electrical part of it. And the ramp can be, or should be able to, right? These are very nice for boarding islands or other dock areas. All right, let's go ahead and finish this, and we'll have it go back in our inventory, and we'll show you how this thing flies. Okay, building stations in my inventory. Now what we can do is fill these up with gasoline, and we'll show you why having these up close is something to consider. However you want to build these. First and foremost, to reverse, you hold the action button, then you switch gears. Obviously, you go slower in reverse, but you have to have access to the engine to do so. I can switch it. I can turn one on to go a bit slower because we are very fast. And then when I want more speed, I can kick this one on. Now we're going faster. And then we can go upstairs and turn on the sails to go even faster with 0 cost. Yeah, so when you throw the anchor, you want to make sure you put the sails back up and turn off your engines. But while you're out here, you can have these cannons already loaded. Very useful for shooting down pirates as they come out. See if the deep sea open yet? Boo! And you can see your plank here is actually quite nice. Keep things all tucked up nice. Having things like the jersey wall, barricades, or even like a level 1 workbench up here for cover is not a bad idea for both shooting back at players and the NPCs, the pirates. Will be an issue at some point. But you can see how just with a little bit of wood, a little bit of low grade, and some testicular fortitude, that you can get yourself a boat going right away to head right into the deep sea to make your high seas fortunes a reality very quickly within the wipe. Man, doing oil rig and cargo is going to be so easy now that we got these custom boats. I can't wait to see what you guys build off of this. Be sure to submit it in the Discord. We'll be sure to check those different builds out. We're going to try to do a couple different wipes here on the PC side because this does look like a ton of fun. And hey, I know if you're on Console.Rust, it's like, hey, this is far away, but I really don't think it's that far away. I know we've got our performance updates and our map increase and pop increase, but I think once those things solidify, I think this could be a reality sooner than we think. And as you know, they've been very apt to put in things that are aquatic or ocean-based. So yeah, if you guys are looking for an automatic locker system, it should already be up on the end screen now, and we'll see you out in the open seas.